Okay, hello lads, back for another episode of Data Diagnostics. Today we have a 2018 Land Rover Discovery, and as you can see there, water in fuel, see handbook, restricted performance, water in fuel. Triangle up at the top, right triangle as well. Now this, we do have a restricted performance because this now is in limp mode, and what I have is, as well as them issues on the dash, what we have is fan 1 control circuit low, short circuit to ground, engine coolant pump control circuit low, short circuit to ground. What's the other one? Engine oil pressure control circuit low, short circuit to ground. Now the glow plug ones, as you see there, they are not the issue with this. I had a little go at this yesterday, and the customer had this elsewhere as well. And what the customer knows and informed me was, out in under the engine bay fuse box, fuse F11 is a 10 amp fuse, and he says that keeps popping and blowing. And that's kind of what I seen a little bit yesterday, but I lost my window of opportunity because it did pop on me. I put it in again and it didn't. So the fault was not there, but the fault is back now after a little drive. Customer did state that. He said you could put in 3 or 4 fuses and they'd pop straight away, but then after that they don't, and it goes for a little while and it goes grand. Now that's the situation. So drove it up the road, so I'm assuming, I'll show you now in a minute, that fuse, I'm assuming that has gone now, and that has given us back these codes. Now yesterday, I did have another one to go with that. I did have something to do with fuel, water in fuel code. Now funnily enough, that one is not coming up today, but I do have the message saying water in fuel, see handbook. Now I was looking at a wiring diagram, and that F11 that the customer was talking about out there, engine bay fuse box, does supply all these. Forget the glow plug one, but it does supply all these with power, along with the water in fuel at the fuel filter. So yeah, I'll show you that fuse now in a second, and hopefully I have my suspicions after a little bit of time spent on it yesterday that it may be this oil pressure control circuit one, but we'll see. Hopefully we'll see. Okay, so we're in under the bonnet, and there is the fuse box, engine bay, and it's that fuse there that keeps blowing, and it is blowing there now. F11. Show you that. So yeah, that fuse has definitely popped. So that's the issue we're after. Why is this fuse blown every time? Okay lads, so look, I took out the fuse that was popped. I'm going into that pin there that is supplying all these components with power from that fuse, with my power probe set to 10 amps. So anything above 10 amps, which the fuse is rated at 10 amps, this thing will trip. So it's not tripping at the moment, and I believe that is because down here I have what I suspected was this. Can you see it there now? I have that unplugged. That I believe is the oil pressure control switch circuit that I can't even see, but I can just clearly see the pin. So when I'm now going to connect that up, and my power probe the circuit breaker will break in that power probe. So I might if I can get Jim. Yep. Will you hold this camera on that? And I'm going to go down and reconnect that oil pressure.
Hit one. Okay.
problem here is this one, the engine oil pressure control circuit. So we're going to need one of them. It's buried up underneath the manifold there, so I can't even get the camera up. Just barely get me a hand up just to unplug it. So that's our fault found anyway. Okay lads, so maybe this little wiring diagram that I found on the snap-on might help explain a bit more to you. So this is F11 fuse, which is the one in the engine bay. Sorry, it's one in the engine bay going down there that keeps blowing on this car. So that is supplying our oil pressure control valve, which is A54. It's also supplying our water separator sensor, which is that one there. It's also supplying our, what's A71? Piston cooling jet, and A80 over here is coolant flow control valve, and E27 is coolant fan control circuit. So yeah, we had our fuse blown. We also had a warning on the dash to say our water in fuel, so that was also supplying that. To my scan tool here, we had coolant pump control circuit, which is on the circuit, short to ground. We had fan control circuit, short to ground, and we had the oil pressure control circuit, short to ground. So yeah, hope that maybe explains a little bit more. So this fella here, disconnecting this, stopped the fuse from blowing. So we have a short in our oil pressure control valve. So we'll have to try and figure out and get that to fix this Discovery Sport. Okay, I hope that makes sense. There's the diagram. Okay lads, my Land Rover Discovery Sport is back in. Part came from the main dealers. There is the part number. So it's a piston oil cooling solenoid, I believe this thing is. Now I won't rip open this bag until I have the old one out, just to make sure they're right, it's the right one. That does not look very, very nice to change at all. Like, I don't know. Again, I have the wire unplugged, but I can't really see it. All I can do is kind of feel it. It looks like it's going to be awkward to change. I'll fidget about here and see can I get to it and get it out, and we'll see. It looks like from that, there's one little leg there holding it in with, I'd say, a size 10 or a size 8, I don't know, I'm not too sure. I'll have to feel around up there. Okay, I'll be back to you in a minute to see how this goes. Right lads, I have my solenoid out, and the good news is I do have the right one. That was horrendous anyway, I have to say. A little size 8 holding that in there, very awkward to get at. That's what I use, a little quarter with a wobble head and a magnetic size 8 came in handy there to stay on the bolt. Also then I used them because I couldn't just pull that out. I had to give it a kind of little lever with them bars I used. But yeah, gonna have some fun getting the bolt started on this new one. So that's what I'm going to try to do now, get that new one up and in. I can't even really show you where. You can see where there's a bit of oil, but it's all the way up in there, and all I could really do was feel my way around because I couldn't see that bolt. I couldn't see the solenoid. So all I can do is just feel my way around and try going on that, but it's get that pushed in, and I'll try and get this size 8 started, and hopefully this will be back together very soon. Okay lads, I got that solenoid back in with the wire connected onto it. That's the best shot I can give to you Well, it's housed in its home there. As I said, I can't even see it. I can only get this thing in and out by kind of feel. But yeah, it was not nice to try get that 8mm bolt started in there again and squeeze up, but it is, and as you can see the wire is plugged back onto it. It's just the borescope gone up, and as I shown you earlier, it's just in an awful place up in there, in that way somewhere. But yeah, we're back together now. I'll bring it down, we'll put the fuse in, and we'll give it a scan through the work, and we'll clear codes and drive it up the road and all that good stuff. Okay lads, so the fuse box we're in at now, and I have that swapped out. So that's that one there, 10 amp F11. Okay, and of course there's the old one, which we know was blown. So new fuse back in this there now, and we know that that is feeding a load of other stuff, that fuse with power. So yeah, just start the car, do a bit of scan tool stuff, and we see how this reacts. Hopefully we have a fix. Okay lads, so we're in the wagon again. I have the snap-on Zeus hooked up, and a list of all the codes there that were there. And I did think that engine oil control circuit low was at the start of this video what I changed, but that part that I did change is a piston cooling jet solenoid. So apologies for that, but anyway, it was definitely on that circuit. Let's clear all these codes anyway. So actually I might do it with engine off and ignition on to clear all these. So what codes we're not going to get rid of here is the glow plugs, but we were never after them after that fault. Codes cleared. Okay, let's do another code scan then. I want to confirm my fix. So glow plug, glow plug, glow plug. Not worried about that, but I just don't want to see any of the other ones come back now. But at this point, I'm going to have to drive this up the road and see what happens. So right, we'll see what kind of reaction we get out of this car on the spin. Right lads, back after a road test, and this is driving fine, no issues at all, no lights, and we're not in restricted mode, or we're not in limp mode. We are driving as we should. Right, to the scan tool, still connected up there, go to engine, continue, and we're looking for, sorry there's so much glare there, codes, and that's all we have in there, which we expected. Glow plug cylinder 1, glow plug cylinder 2, glow plug cylinder 4. This car needs a set of glow plugs, but any of the other issues have not returned. So that's it there. We have a fix on this Land Rover Sport, Land Rover Discovery Sport. It was that piston oil cooling solenoid valve which was the issue, blown the fuse F11. So that's it lads. I'll just swing you around and show you my new hat. There it is. Nice little present on a day like this to be getting. It's absolutely freezing out there, but thanks everybody again for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again soon in the next one. Bye.